ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the Southeastern Conference.
From College Station, Texas, welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Subway. Number 5 LSU, the SEC West champs, facing a Texas A&M team trying to find something special after a disappointing season. Joe Tessitore and Greg McElroy with you upstairs. Katie George will join in a moment. Texas A&M won the toss. They elect to defer. Noah Kane back to return Caden Davis's effort to start our evening. Greg, we often talk about teams not staying the same. You either get better or you're worse. LSU has gotten better and better and better.
It's not often when you see the same team six times over the course of a 12-game season. Well, we've had the luxury of doing that with LSU, and it's been a trip. It really has. To see them week 1 and now week 12, see the differences that have been made. They've learned about each other. The coaching staff has learned their personnel, their strengths and their weaknesses. And now here they are, just 2 weeks away from potentially punching their ticket to the college football playoff. It's been a wild ride for the LSU Tigers.
Jaden Daniels has had a sensational season, especially running the ball. As Noah Kane will take the carry, and Jackson makes the tackle for the Aggies. So Jaden Daniels, Greg, has the most rushing yards by a quarterback among all the FBS quarterbacks.
A little tempo early here for Jaden Daniels, trying to get a look. Talk to the staff. A big reason why this offense has really found itself in the final month of the season is because of how confident he's become and how comfortable he is, not just going through his progressions, but also using his legs.
Daniels completes his first throw of the night, and it goes to Jack Besh. A couple weeks ago, we were with LSU. That was the game when many were dealing with the flu on this team. Against Arkansas, Daniels was only 8 of 15 passing for 86 yards, a couple of turnovers. Comes back last week against UAB, 111 yards rushing, 297 yards passing. So Besh goes for a 15-yard completion. And first down out at the 45-yard line. Kane wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by Jackson again.
Nice penetration here defensively for Texas A&M. As you can see, Jackson working across on the right-hand side, beating Emory Jones, the freshman right tackle, to the spot and dropping the back for a loss.
John Emery on second down as he's out to midfield. Emery's been dealing with turnover issues, had 3 fumbles in the last 2 games.
You notice one name noticeably missing from those last 2 carries, Josh Williams. He might go at some point tonight, not at 100%, but they are monitoring him closely. He might be available depending on how the outcome's working.
Third and 5. Daniels, quick to the outside, incomplete, through the hands of Kyron Lacey.
You see the quarterback, Jaden Daniels, going right over to his receiver, saying, hey man, I'm gonna keep coming back to you. Ball a little bit high, not bad though. One that Lacey has to bring down, especially after a really nice route there on the 9 stop. That would have been an easy conversion to one that LSU should have definitely made a play on.
Jay Bramlett on to punt. Moose Muhammad, a talented receiver and special teamer, back to return. Fair catch around the 10-yard line. Katie.
You know, Tess, we've seen players dealing with injury shut it down towards the end of the season. Not Devon Achane. I've been told he has been working his tail off, trying his best to get healthy so he could play with his teammates in this final game. Jimbo Fisher says Achane's presence tonight says a lot about who he is as a person and as a teammate. When your star players remain invested, regardless of record, it sets the right example. He will give this offense a big boost this evening.
And Katie, Jimbo turned the other day, said, listen, he's been encouraging guys even when he was out injured. Just tremendous, high-quality, high-character veteran player. So A-Chain ready to go with Connor Wigman as the cornerback. And a gain of about 3 yards for A-Chain. Chick-fil-A impact players look this way.
Well, upon finding out that Devon A-Chain was available, there's no doubt we're going there. Him and Moose Muhammad for Texas A&M. Those are the two guys you absolutely have to contend with. And then, of course, the edge presence that is B.J. Ojulari. He can change the game in an instant. And then Harold Perkins, what a young star he's become in the last few weeks. He'll be all over the field, the true freshman, formerly committed to Texas A&M.
2nd and 7. True freshman quarterback Connor Wigman back to pass. And he gets it complete, a yard short of the line to gain as he's able to connect with Noah Thomas.
And if you watch Connor Wigman, how the ball comes off his hand, throws a really pretty football. A little bit of an unorthodox release, but he's got plenty of length, he's got plenty of height, and he throws a nice catchable football. Obviously understanding every single aspect of this offense, probably not totally at his disposal yet as a true freshman. How could it possibly be? But they're very excited about his future. Sky's the limit with the talent he has.
They're down and 1, I formation with Crownover ahead of A-Chain. That'll be a first down for the Aggies. So Jimbo Fisher, who has suffered through all the issues this year with this team, from the injuries to the struggles on offense, and now the decision to play so many of the younger players, 25 true freshmen have played, 13 have started. But we visited with him this week. He said, listen, you think there'd be craziness and issues this week coming down the stretch with the kind of season? Not at all. There's a sense of urgency to perform tonight.
Yeah, I fully expected our meeting with him to be totally melancholy, and it could not have been more the opposite the last couple days.
Wigman sets up the screen. Here's Green as he strides it out for a gain of 9. The true freshman from Dickinson, Texas. And Jaquelin Roy coming in at the end with the push.
Jaquelin Roy needs to be a little careful as you see Green out of bounds right there, and that's when Jaquelin Roy pushes him, but gotta be a little careful on the sideline there as you're in pursuit. And a good start so far for the Aggie offense. A little misdirection and getting the screen game going to slow down those pass rushers for LSU.
A-Chain bounces it to the left and goes ahead for 10 yards before he is taken down by Jay Ward.
That was a thing of beauty there from A-Chain. Look at him work to the backside. Signed to go front side to the right. Feels the disappearance to the left. Quickly puts his right foot in the ground, finds the open space, and finishes the run. That's usually when you can tell, all right, is a guy at 100%? How does he finish the run? That time, he tries to get down and lower his shoulder to initiate the contact.
Back-to-back 10-yard runs. Wigman trying to get away from Perkins, but then was wrapped up by Savion Jones.
First opportunity to really take a look at Harold Perkins. You see just how quick he is and how long he is. He was able to force the pull read from Wigman and get a hand on Wigman all at the same time. This young man, he might be one of the best defensive players in America already as a true freshman.
2nd and 10 as Evan Stewart is able to secure it, and they're glad to have the sensational freshman receiver back. He didn't play last week.
Yeah, and that was good concentration too, because the coverage from Garner is all over him, draped on his back. It's a good throw there. It looked like he kind of bodied up Stewart, who could kind of go down and guard it, but that was very, very physical there. And set up likely 4-down territory for the Aggies.
9 yards on the reception, 3rd and 1. I formation again for A-Chain. Again, he will give him a fresh set of downs as he was corralled by Micah Baskerville, but not after a gain of 4. Devon A-Chain, top 3 in the SEC at 98 rushing yards per game. Missed the last couple of weeks. You know, we're here all week long, not getting in practice time, but wanted to go out there and see if he could give it a go. Warmed up last week, didn't play, warmed up tonight, said I'm ready.
This would be a spot right here. I'd be thinking heavy play action, throw a shot over the top.
Wigman, play action, gets it to the outside. And Muhammad, as you hear the rain from the crowd of Moose, gets it to the 35-yard line. Greg Brooks with the tackle.
Like the plan so far as you see Moose Muhammad. They've gotten all their playmakers involved so far. They got Donovan Green involved. They get Moose Muhammad involved. They throw it to Stewart on a slant. As you look at Moose Muhammad's dad in attendance, of course, a great player in his own right.
18 years ago, he led the NFL in receiving yards. 2nd and 6. A-Chain. As he rolls over a defender. And he's going to be about half a yard short of that line to gain. At the 30-yard line. There's Greg Penn with the tackle. 3rd and 1. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this opening drive. 11th play coming for A&M.
They've run the same play on short yardage both times. It's just been a power to the left-hand side. Let's see this time. Lined up in a very similar formation. Let's see if they go to the power to the right-hand side. There it is.
And with that, A-Chain is able to get ahead for a gain of 3 yards and another Texas A&M first down.
Just a lead handoff right there, and A-Chain, if any of y'all were wondering whether or not he was at 100%, he might not be 100%, but he is clearly still an impact player. He looks as healthy as he's looked in quite some time.
And then you think about what that means for the rest of the team when a guy like this is making a decision, considering the season they've had. Hey, I'm not shutting it down. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to give it everything I have tonight.
Sends a message, no doubt.
A-Chain to the left side. Patient. Look at him use the blocks as he glides off the edge. Finally pushed out by Greg Brooks. But you are getting a sense of exactly what Devon A-Chain can deliver. Goes ahead for 8 yards.
Yeah, just a great job following your blockers out in front. I like so far that Texas A&M is really getting into some of these heavy sets. This right here, 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 backs. It's a heavy set to try to impose your will along the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 2. A-Chain again. That'll be 3rd and probably less than a yard. You know, we were visiting with their offensive line coach, Steve Adazio, before the game. At one point, he turned to both of us. He said, you still win football games a certain way.
Right.
You're seeing that on this opening drive.
Absolutely. I mean, there is still a place in the game for physical downhill rushing attack. If you don't believe me, ask Ohio State how things went with them against the Michigan Wolverines. And I think a physical rushing attack works pretty well for the Georgia Bulldogs as well.
Is a first down for A&M based on that spot. Wigman quick to the outside again to Stewart. And Stewart is corralled by Ward and Brooks.
Just absolutely love this plan so far, this scripted opening drive from Jimbo Fisher. I mean, just the distribution. A-Chain's got 8 touches out of 14 plays. Stewart's got a couple targets. Green, Thomas, and Muhammad have all gotten a touch and a look as well. The ball's getting out of Wigman's hands quickly, which is essentially neutralizing the pass rush that LSU has as well. It's just really been a beautiful thing to start.
A-Chain makes a man miss and then darts into the end zone. Devon A-Chain and the Aggies touchdown. Exactly the start they wanted to have. Gain some confidence. Your true freshman quarterback. Lean on your veteran star running back who made a decision to return. And go 15 plays and 90 yards. Taking up 7.5 minutes. And getting on the board against the number 5 team in the country. Hey, show us that touchdown replay with the AT&T 5G Skycam, Greg.
Well, just a thing of beauty right here. You see the stretch zone working to the left. Jake Johnson corrals it and captures the edge, and Fouché the free safety, the guy that's unblocked, he over pursues it. You see the quickness here on display. Look how quickly A-Chain puts that left foot in the ground and gets vertical, makes a guy miss, and hits his head on the goalpost. Just a terrific opening drive for the Aggies.
He had 9 carries for 54 yards in that touchdown on the opening drive. 15-play drive for the Aggies to jump out 7-zip. Quick break, and we'll be right back.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu, your pick of 12 irresistible subs, and in part by Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
That is Christmas in the Park here in College Station, Texas. Aggies with a touchdown lead early here against LSU. There is Miss Reveille, ma'am. Katie?
Yeah, Tess, I was speaking with Brian Kelly pregame. He told me that Josh Williams is available tonight, but he wants to be conservative and intentional with how they use him. So we may see him play in very specific situations. Less is more right now. If they feel the need to up his carries, they'll consider it.
So they go with Kane and Emery. Remember, Armani Goodwin is out for the season with an unfortunate knee injury. Here's Jaden Daniels on first down. Look at the time he has. But nothing available as he had to just tuck and run. Matt Barry, what is going on elsewhere, my friend?
Guys, good evening. Happy holidays. I got your All-State Mayhem moment. Oregon was beating Oregon State 31-10 with 3 minutes in the third quarter. The Beavers come all the way back to win 38-34, and now Oregon must wait for the outcome of the Apple Cup after blowing that lead to lose in their game.
That's unbelievable. In such a heated rivalry, too. That's how it goes. 2nd and 7. Daniels again as he throws it to the outside and beyond Neighbors, and a flag comes in as Jalen Jones had coverage on Neighbors.
Pass interference, defense, number 17. The ball we placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
And it looked like as Neighbors was getting ready to drop his hips, that left arm of Jalen Jones gets wrapped around Neighbors and doesn't really allow him to come out of his break. That's a good call by the official. Appreciate A&M's defensive backs being aggressive. This is a high-quality wide receiver core for LSU, so you need to be physical, but you can't grab. It's a good call by the official.
First down at the 40 after the penalty. Daniels is trying to get it out to Kane quickly, who was lined up in the slot to the left.
Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator for LSU, has done such a great job learning his personnel and figuring out ways to make his quarterback more comfortable. Jaden Daniels has thrived really in the last month of the season, with the exception of a game or two here and there. So much more comfortable than he was at the early going.
Here's Emery on 2nd and 10, and look at Emery as he was able to drag a defender, Antonio Johnson, with him for extra yards and a first down, Tigers.
Great read here at the end of the line of scrimmage. You see Jaden Daniels, he's reading number 4 right there. Number 4 stops his feet. That's Shamar Stewart, stops his feet, which is a give read for the quarterback. He hands it, and boom, Emery Jones is right in behind it. John Emery, excuse me, right in behind it with an excellent run.
11 yards for Emery. Daniels gets it quickly. Booty. As Kayshawn dives ahead to the 44-yard line. Chappelle with the tackle. Next Saturday on ABC, it'll be TCU playing for the Big 12 championship. Clemson, Carolina in the ACC. 2nd and 5. Daniels going to try to run for it, and he'll be a yard short as he was met by Edgerrin Cooper.
So far, if you look at the defensive plan from DJ Durkin, it looks awfully similar to LSU's defensive plan a couple weeks ago against Arkansas. They've opted so far to take LT Overton, number 18. He's been dropping back a little bit. They're rushing 3, and LT Overton's essentially responsible for Jaden Daniels on the quarterback spy.
3rd and 1. Emery, he'll muscle ahead for a first down.
See here if Mike Denbrock, fresh set of downs. Formation into the boundary. You have 3 receivers, the near side. This would be where they'd go heavy play action and take a shot downfield.
Kane, ball came out at the end there. And LSU falls on it as the linemen were trailing the play. And you could see quickly Emory Jones was able to recover that fumble. He is the true freshman from Catholic High in Baton Rouge who stepped in week 3 as a starter and has never looked back.
Yeah, you see Antonio Johnson, number 27, coming in and delivering that big blow. You see Kane right there. I mean, not terrible ball security, just a big hit. And then, of course, with Gilbert also draped. Just a big collision there in the back end.
Makes for a 2nd and 4. Daniels quickly to Neighbors. And that'll be a first down for the Tigers.
Good job there by Neighbors on the low throw to go down, get his arms underneath it, 'cause that ball was humming. That was a fastball there. As you can see, the defender, Chappelle, he was collapsing on that hitch route. So Daniels had to throw it with some heat on it, and it dropped. It's a good catch by Neighbors.
Daniels looks left. And it's just beyond Besh's reach. He was covered by Antonio Johnson. DJ Durkin seeing if his defense can come up with a stop here. LSU 10th play of this drive. Daniels checks at the line. Play clock down to 1. Deshaun Booty. And he is taken down at the 21-yard line as Jones and Gilbert collide on him.
Those are the little things there from Jaden Daniels where he's just grown so much. I mean, he sees quickly. There's soft coverage over the slot. Looks like Texas A&M's going to be in some form of soft zone on 2nd and 10. Make 3rd down more manageable by getting it to a playmaker and making it now 3rd and 3. That's growth and maturity at the position.
Final seconds of the first quarter. And a first quarter that sped on by thanks to that long drive by A&M. The Aggies have been criticized a bit with their offense this year. Not tonight. They came out hot. Freshman quarterback 5 for 5. Veteran running back A-Chain said, "I'm back." He put him on the board. Touchdown lead for the upset-seeking Aggies. We're at Kyle Field, and you're watching the SEC on ESPN. Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, Katie George with you here as the Aggies begin this second quarter with a touchdown lead over number 5 LSU. That first quarter sped by. LSU had a short drive with a punt. Aggies had the long drive, and now second drive for LSU is still going right here. 3rd down and 2. Daniels utilizing the blocks inside the 10 and spinning his way inside the 5. 1st and goal, Tigers.
Just a great look there to run with the quarterback. He only had 6 guys in the box defensively for Texas A&M. They were anticipating there a pass, obviously, with only 6 defenders in there to stop the run. Well, quarterback run not only gives you 6 guys to account for it, but adds the quarterback on top of it. You have 6 guys to block 6. That's going to be a huge play every time.
Emery straight ahead, reaching out for that goal line, and they are going to mark him just short. It was Jordan Gilbert with the tackle of John Emery.
It's been a good answer from LSU.
Quick to the line. Emery again. Whistles blew as he was stacked up. I think they're going to go back and look at that original run on 1st and goal.
Before the ball was snapped, replay initiated a review of the previous play. The ruling on the field was the runner was short of the goal line.
Ooh, it does look like he might have crossed the plane. Initially, it certainly didn't look like it. Thought he was down before the ball crossed the goal line, but on a second look, that left knee was actually up as he surged forward. Here you go. You can see right here is not down, not down, not down, not down, not down, not down. Boom, elbow down, but where is the ball at that point? Elbows down, knees down, but is the ball across the plane? It's a little difficult to see.
Well, the ball was in the pocket of the right elbow at that point. So that you know for a fact. You know it is framed against the right elbow at that point. And first look we gave you was stellar.
It's a great effort by John Emery. This really is a great look right here as he's going forward, elbow down, just a touch before that. Where is the ball relative to the goal line?
All he needs is the first gold-painted flake of grass.
There, that's when he's down. Here's the goal line. Right around there. Where exactly is the ball? I think that nose is across, personally. But of course, call on the field was that he was short, so it has to be indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt to overturn. Man, it does look like the nose of that football might just be across the plane.
After video review, it is a touchdown.
Touchdown, Tigers. Call is reversed. So John Emery goes ahead for a 4-yard touchdown run after replay saw that look down the line.
Just a great effort there by John Emery. Just refusing to go down and being just strong enough to cross the plane. Excellent effort and a terrific response from LSU after the opening drive touchdown by the Aggies.
Ramos adds the extra point, and that ties it up. Aggies had a 15-play touchdown drive. LSU comes back. They have a 13-play touchdown drive. Aerial coverage high above Kyle Field is provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. 7-7 game here. Joe, Greg, and Katie, SEC primetime on ESPN. Texas A&M, of course, suffering through some difficulties this year. They lost 6 straight games, all SEC games. Last time A&M lost 6 in a row all the way back in 1972. But, oh, what a way this would be to finish a dismal season. They can threaten number 5 LSU. Dybert kicked it out, and that brings out the flag.
Free kick, out of bounds, kicking team. The ball he placed at the 35-yard line. First down. Timeout on the field.
Take a short break. When we come back, we'll get you up to speed on everything going on with Tennessee and Vandy. Don't go anywhere.
Ed Berry back in our college football studio. I want to update you on USC and Notre Dame. Trojans strike first. Caleb Williams, good vision to his right, finds Taj Washington So USC up 7-0 on Notre Dame, and Tennessee has Vanderbilt at the end of their season. Jabari Small, he knocks it in from 4 yards out. Right now, ball's up 7-0 on SEC Network.
Thank you, Matt. Of course, that's Joe Milton, the third at quarterback for Tennessee after Hooker suffered that horrible injury. Wigman gets it complete as he connects with Muhammad. And that was good effort by Moose Muhammad to haul that in.
So far, Texas A&M's offensive plan, they've mixed up. A great catch there by Muhammad, by the way. They've mixed up the looks. They have really changed the launch point an awful lot for Connor Wigman. They've rolled him to his right. They've gotten the ball out of his hands quickly. They've simplified some of the reads by cutting the field in half. Quarterback is obviously responding with a nice performance so far.
Wigman, he's 7 for 7 to start the game as he goes to Muhammad again and another first down.
Get this, guys. Matt House, LSU's DC, actually coached Moose Muhammad's dad, Moosin, when House was an assistant for John Fox at the Carolina Panthers. House said Moosin was one of the toughest receivers he's ever come across. He was physical, a team-first guy. House said in watching the film this week, you can see Moose has a lot of his dad in him and thinks that toughness and strong body will bode well for him. It's boding well for him right now.
No doubt about it. Off to a very good start. 3 catches for 34 yards. A-Chain as he goes ahead towards the 30-yard line. Greg Penn with the tackle.
And it's easy to point out all the wonderful things that A-Chain does in the run game, but how about the little things? How about this block right here? Just saving a life. That's B.J. Ojulari. He sees that he's going to get the ball pulled on the RPO. A-Chain goes in there and sticks his shoulder in, and A-Chain, by the way, giving up about 60, 65 pounds to Ojulari, and yet completely unfazed by the penetration of the defensive end.
2nd and 5. A-Chain. It'll be 3rd and a long one from there. A-Chain goes 185 pounds. Ojulari 250. Now getting into it in pass pro. Already 63 yards. Welcome back.
I remember a lot of the conversation before the season too was, hey, can A-Chain be an every down back, right? Is he one of those guys that can handle the blocking and all the aspect? We know he's a great home run hitter, but is he a well-rounded enough back to be an every down guy? Well, that play right there shows you just how far he's come.
3rd and 1. They go I formation again. A-Chain will have the first down as he's torn down by Garner. And A&M is now 4 for 4 on 3rd down.
Now, they've run power to the right multiple times where it's gone this way, but now they call power with a bend. Watch Crownover. He's the fullback. Watch how he leads back around, and he gets a little bit tripped up by Preston, but if he could have stayed on his feet, they would have had really nice numbers on the backside. They set that up on 3rd and shorts earlier in the game. That time they call a design cutback, and it was almost to the house.
Split the backs now. By the way, Crownover 6'3", 230 in that role in the backfield. Wigman. Diving effort, couldn't get it to Crownover, and that's the first incompletion of the game for Connor Wigman. True freshman quarterback from Cypress, Texas. Played at Bridgeland High. Went for over 10,000 yards of total offense there, 119 touchdowns. Was the #1 quarterback recruit as a pocket passer in the ESPN 300 last year. He has a very bright future.
He does, and he's working against a secondary tonight that's without some of their top pieces. Corners for LSU, a little banged up heading into the night.
Jarek Bernard-Converse not able to go tonight.
As a result, Jay Ward slides out. He gets the start, as does Mekhi Garner. So a little banged up in the secondary, and as a result, Wigman's had plenty of space and opportunity to complete some underneath passes. But a big down here, the most difficult down of the night so far for A&M. They've kept everything very much on schedule. This is really the first time they've been behind the sticks.
3rd down and 7.
What do they do to account for number 40 on the bottom of your screen?
Wigman has to try to escape, looking for a block, and he gets it. He was being chased from behind by the speedy true freshman Harold Perkins, and he was able to get the first down.
It's a pretty good job by Fothery just forcing Perkins to run the loop. Perkins, so athletic, almost tracks it down, but as he's going in for the tackle, kind of lands awkwardly, and he's on the ground. A potentially massive injury if Perkins is seriously injured. Hopefully he's okay.
The freakishly athletic Harold Perkins, who, by the way, was able to walk off the field moments ago. A couple weeks ago, he was everywhere on the field against Arkansas. The National Defensive Player of the Week. Had 4 sacks, had the game-winning turnover to end it, clinched the SEC West. This is a breakthrough freshman, Greg.
Yeah, he's incredible. And you watch him here coming off the edge. That dip move where he gets so low to the ground. I mean, so flexible. Fothery did a really nice job of just getting hands on him and just forcing him around. But that presence is going to be there all the time for Connor Wigman, especially in an obvious passing situation. You got to know that internal clock is a heck of a lot shorter when number 40 is rushing the passer, particularly off the right-hand side.
Wigman just went for 9 yards, so it's 1st and goal. A-Chain goes ahead for a gain of 3. Alligay with the tackle.
Perkins has just been phenomenal. I mean, it hasn't been that often where we've watched games, Tess, and we've said, hey, that guy's the best player on the field, and it's not even close.
And he's 18 years old.
Right. The only other times he can't, Will Anderson last year
yes.
against Mississippi State, he had 4 sacks. And Perkins, the other example of that, where it kind of stood out, and Roquan Smith. Those are 3 pretty good ones, by the way, to be mentioned alongside.
Wigman with time, looking to the end zone, goes underneath, though, as that was the only option available to him. And it's Jake Johnson, the true freshman tight end, the younger brother of quarterback Max Johnson. Perkins back out for 3rd and goal.
Keep an eye on Perkins. He's right here. Walked up over the guard.
3-man rush. They drop 8. Wigman with a man in his face. Going to the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Was trying to find the 6'4" Donovan Green.
Man, this is absolutely brutal by the offensive line of Texas A&M. Just a 3-man rush. And Mekhi Wingo, who's been a revelation for them at times this year, stepping in for the injured Mason Smith. Everyone thought Mason Smith was going to be the breakout player. But Mekhi Wingo right there, a 3-man rush against a heavy protection. He beats the left tackle Zune inside and forces the early throw. Just brutal job protecting there by the Aggies.
Randy Bond on for the 25-yard attempt. And he puts it through to break the tie. 10-7, Aggies here at home. Taco Bell Live Más student section here at Kyle Field. Student sections across the country are competing to be the Live Más student section all season long. Aggies are up 10-7 on number 5 LSU.
You got to be careful with that horns down thing right there.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be real. That's a 15-yard penalty
That's
in
right.
some places. You got to be careful with that now.
Noah Kane will let this fly to the back of the end zone, and we will fly to Bristol, Connecticut to check in with Matt.
Gentlemen, look at what's going on in the primetime window. USC threatening to go up 14-0 on ABC over Notre Dame. UCF all over South Florida. They'll punch their ticket to travel to Tulane for the American Conference Championship. No upset brewing in Vanderbilt over on SEC Network, and Pitt and Miami just kicked off on ACC.
Thank you very much, Matt. Got a competitive one here in the second quarter. Aggies up 10-7. Jane Daniels pulls it and then goes ahead for 2 yards. as he was wrapped up by LT Overton.
Second drive by LSU, they started to settle in. Did a nice job of mixing some run pass. Got Jaden Daniels involved in the run game a little bit as well. Right now, A&M playing pretty good up front relative to how they've looked at times in the last 6-7 weeks.
Daniels is averaging 6.3 per rush tonight. 2nd and 8 as he hooks it up for a first down to Neighbors. And Neighbors has that quick burst as soon as he turns the corner.
If you look at how A&M's playing in the secondary, they've been a little bit soft. There is some opportunity to throw the ball underneath. A&M trying to just keep the ball in front of them a bit.
Daniels, as he gets it complete to Kayshon Boutte. And it's inside the 40.
Man, this is a long throw here by Jaden Daniels from the far hash. They fake the little screen out to the left, and they try to hit a little pump action down the field. The safety did a pretty decent job staying over the top, so Jaden Daniels had to drive that one into Boutte, and he gets it in just in time. That's a pretty good throw, man. That ball was in the air a long way.
22-yard reception for Kayshon Boutte. That's the first play we've had for either team over 20 yards tonight. Daniels, first down throw was tipped. It was Enai White who went up and got a piece of it. He's 6'5" and reached up and deflected that ball.
And watch his eyes the whole way. I mean, his eyes are back on Jaden Daniels as he feels Taylor kind of run that wheel route, that little wide depart vertical. His eyes are on the quarterback the whole way. And Jaden Daniels just can't get the ball up and over the top of it.
2nd and 10. Emery off the right side. Kept his balance for a few extra yards before he was wrestled down by Jardin Gilbert.
Ryan Kelly all year long has been extremely aggressive, especially in plus territory. So I would imagine he's telling Mike Denbrock right now, hey, you can get it to 4th and 2, 4th and 3. This would be a spot where they would definitely go for it.
Why not? You're in that no man's land with the 34-yard line. 3rd and 6. Daniels won't have to worry about that as he goes to Neighbors again. Neighbors often his preferred target in spots like that.
And what a great route. I mean, just look at how quickly. They've tried to work this route a couple times. Tried to work it to Kyron Lacey earlier, and the ball was just a touch high and dropped that time. Similar route, just a 9-stop. See him sit it down quickly, and the ball's right on time.
Kane dealing with traffic in the middle as he was met by McKinley Jackson. Noah Kane and John Emery getting the work. Josh Williams, they said perhaps he could go tonight, but we haven't seen him yet. And Armani Goodwin is out for the remainder of the season with a knee injury.
The coverage was loose at the corner spot earlier here. Now they drop back. Got soft coverage to the outside yet again.
2nd and 8. Daniels as he quickly flips it to Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor, of course, the hero against Alabama. Caught the game-winning 2-point conversion in overtime. 3rd and 2 coming.
Pressure look right there from Texas A&M.
3rd down and 2. Daniels. Lacey couldn't hold on to it. Incomplete.
And man, this is so wide open. If Lacey can just pull that in, he's going to not only have the conversion, but might have some yards after catch. If he makes a guy miss, he might ultimately end up scoring. That was a very similar play to what they ran on the 2-point conversion attempt against Alabama to win it. Get a little mesh out in the flat. Lacey just can't reel it in.
So Ramos comes on to try to tie the game with a 35-yarder. And he just sneaks it through.
All right, it's a pressure look, and you're going to see Lacey working across the formation. Pressure look. Chappelle has to go all the way over the top to try to cover this man. They bring Sam Will fire zone. You have wide open out in the flat, and Lacey just can't reel it in. It's very similar, like I said, to the play that they ran to Mason Taylor to win the game against Alabama. That time, they have exactly what they want. They have exactly the coverage that you want to run that against. They just didn't execute it properly, and they end up having to settle for 3. Missed opportunity there for the Bayou Bengals.
Run through these stat lines to realize what an even first half it has been. And again, it's right on par with a lot of the conversations we had this week about the disposition, the attitude, the approach here in College Station. When most people nationally would look at the circumstances, look at how things have gone this year, and say, they're just trying to get to the finish line. Not quite. Moss on the return. Let's check in with Matt again.
Okay, Joe, spot the Big 12 championship game on the line for Kansas State against Kansas. Malik Knowles, end around. Quick early score for the Power Cats, 7-0 early.
Thank you, Matt. K-State trying to land themselves a chance to play TCU. Texas fans obviously wildly interested in that. There's so many things that happened today that caught our attention. Obviously, we know with Michigan blasting away at Ohio State. But I'll tell you, South Carolina beating Clemson as well. What a big spot that was for that South Carolina program to come up with that win. A-Chain, look at the open space he has past midfield and finally wrapped up and taken down by Fouché. But it goes for 29 yards, A-Chain on the go.
What I can't figure out is LSU understands very much, hey, that's the right side of the center. They only have 3 guys over there. I mean, that is a beautiful run look for A-Chain. I mean, you have one guy on block because of the read, and he just captures the edge, gets on the perimeter, he's out the gate. At some point, Matt House is going to have to attribute another defender to the box because A&M's able to move the ball on the ground.
Wigman met right away. Ojulari collapsing on him. So here's a guy in Devon A-Chain who was very limited this week. You know, everybody that was prepping for this game, whether you were trying to defense was LSU or trying to see what you can get offensively with Texas A&M, had no idea if he would be a go. And in this first half, 15 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown.
Even to the point where we were watching him closely in warm-ups,
yes.
Like, there's no way he's going, right? Like, I mean, so I think everybody a little surprised, but, man, has he provided a spark for the Aggies, and certainly it feels, at least at this point, a sense of belief.
2nd and 10, Wigman going to try to get free, but he can't escape the grasp of Roy.
Great job by Roy there. There was some space. If Wigman could just sneak through, see Mekhi Wingo work out to the right-hand shoulder. Well, Roy collapsed down on it, got just enough of Wigman to drop him. That looked like there was a potential of a decent play, but Roy sniffs it out. And if you talk to LSU's defensive staff, man, he's been a guy that they've really needed to come on, and he certainly has as the season's gone along, is really playing good football here in the final month.
3rd and 12 now for the true freshman Wigman. Going to try to run for it, and he's going to get it. Let's see where they mark him on that slide. Where did he initiate that slide? Remember, the yellow line is unofficial. And it is a first down for the Aggies.
This is great recognition here by the quarterback. Watch, this is called two-man. Look at all the defenders. Look at their eyes. Their eyes are on the guys that they're covering. But you still have 2 safeties deep. You know what beats two-man? Quarterback run. Great recognition of two-man there by Wigman and picking up the first down.
And now Wigman, as he gets it complete to Stewart. Freshman to freshman. You are going to hear that combination for years to come. Wigman to Stewart. That goes for 13 yards and another first down. For all of a sudden, this Aggies offense that has found its gear a bit against LSU.
There's really been a nice rhythm with how they've gone about their business, too. And this is not chopped liver defensively. I mean, LSU is excellent on that side of the ball, especially in the front seven. So far, A&M has been just a step ahead with their offensive plan.
A-Chain. Stiff arm, and again, and a cutback inside the 10, and kept his footing inside the 5. Oh, a little bit of everything from A-Chain.
Man, how about A-Chain here? Just a great job getting the edge. You see the outstanding speed, by the way. Watch how he finishes. Boom! Pushes off Harold Perkins there at the end, number 40, and finishes that run. And he is running violent, and he is running angry tonight. And he has certainly breathed some life into the Aggie offense.
He didn't tap out when people at the end of the season like this could have. Instead, he's given it all. Playing with desire and hunger and urgency. He's second and goal. 119 yards in this first half after missing the last 2 weeks.
He's the guy that'll get all the credit, but let's also give a little love to this offensive line. I mean, across the board, only one guy that's an upperclassman. That's the right guard, Layden Robinson. The whole left side are freshmen with Zune, Dewberry, and Wyckoff. And those guys answered what is a fairly significant challenge working against this defensive line of LSU.
Backfield offset with Crownover in as the lead blocker. Second and goal. A-Chain. Nothing there as he was wrapped up around the ankle by Roy again. And timeout called by LSU. Minute 16 until halftime. Texas A&M is knocking on the door when we return.
I'm Matt Berry coming up with the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. The Irish iron an upset in L.A. We'll have highlights of that. Plus, it was all about big plays for Michigan and their big win against Ohio State. Plus, the iron unkind for Auburn today against Alabama. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway join me coming up at the half.
I look forward to that, Matt. Right now, it is third and goal for the Aggies. Wigman drifting back and getting it into the hands of Donovan Green for the touchdown. Flag is down back at the 16-yard line.
I think it's going to be rough in the passer, too, especially with where the flag is dropped.
How about Connor Wigman, the true freshman, against this LSU defense right now? Playing composed.
The result of the play is a touchdown. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 18. That 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
That's on B.J. Ojolari. You know, a few of the Texas A&M coaches said to us before the game, if we can just get a little momentum early, a little bit of confidence, then all this young talent rises up and starts to believe. That is what has happened here in this first half against the number 5 team in the country.
Offside, defense, number 5, half the distance to the goal. We will try again.
Jimbo's team has been doing it with long and well-managed drives. That one went 9 plays, another 72 yards. Greg, A&M has had 3 drives in this first half that have taken up nearly 18 minutes off the clock. Bond will put it through. It's a 7-point lead for A&M.
The old shoot throwback right here. You got to run through right here. You got an over the top. You got to measure. But here's what you got to love. You forget about that tight end who's crossing. Everything's flowing to the left, flowing from right to left. And then the quarterback just drifts, buys a little bit of time. And he finds it. The open tight end, Green, there in the front of the end zone. Beautifully designed on the throwback by Jimbo Fisher and the A&M offense. That's to take advantage of man. That's to take advantage of overflow. That's to take advantage of an aggressive defense. It's exactly what LSU has. And Texas A&M did an excellent job of taking advantage of all those things to pick up another nice touchdown before the end of the first half.
You know, guys, Jimbo Fisher said when you struggle to find success, it doesn't build character, it reveals it. He was unsure how the young players on this roster would handle adversity. They were so highly recruited. They've only ever experienced success. Fisher said he's been impressed how they've never wavered. They haven't pulled apart. If anything, he says they've gotten closer, tighter through the ups and the downs. Record aside, Fisher said, I've really enjoyed coaching this group.
And look at how calm Katie Wigman is, sitting over there. This is his 4th start overall. Obviously, you know the situation with A&M this year, Greg. 3 different starting quarterbacks. That hasn't happened in 20 years with the Aggies.
Yeah, and I think it's been kind of the theme and the message all week. Look, A&M's young. There's no denying that, but they have talent. You give a talented team with absolutely nothing to lose and some sort of sense of finality, had to think you were going to get their best shot tonight.
Daniels trying to escape, and he does successfully to Neighbors. And Neighbors will go ahead for 12.5 yards, tackled by Bryce Anderson. LSU has 2 timeouts to work with here. A minute on the clock as they set up after the first down. Now the clock will run.
Don't need to start using your timeouts until you get under 40 seconds.
Daniels pushed back, tried to check down underneath, but couldn't connect with Kane. That leaves 51 seconds.
Just goes to show you how much trust and faith Brian Kelly has in his quarterback, Jaden Daniels, to make the correct decision. Most coaches would opt, especially with their initial starting field position, to potentially just take it to the half. Not the case here. Trusting his quarterback to see if they can't steal some points.
Trust has been the key word with everything aligned with the success of Jaden Daniels this year. Daniels to the outside as he gets it to Jenkins. Jeray Jenkins will have the first down. That stops the clock momentarily. Still the 2 timeouts in the bag.
Still plenty of time. Don't need to think about your timeouts. Remember, one of those timeouts is for the kicker. So ultimately, sideline's still your friend, but you can work the middle of the field. Make sure you have 1 timeout to burn for the offense and 1 for the kicker.
They run shallow crossers. There was contact there as he was trying to get it to Jenkins, and the flag does come in as it was Gilbert who was there defensively against Jenkins.
That's a correct call, too. I mean, Gilbert got there really early. As the ball was arriving, Gilbert had already essentially gone over the top of Jenkins. Yeah, as you can see right there, I mean, everyone's got a right to the football. And Gilbert kind of trying to make a chance at it, but man, that collision, that contact happens really early.
No foul for defensive pass interference.
Wow.
Second down.
They decided that he was trying in an effort to make an attempt at the football. They talked him out of it. And I thought that contact was pretty early, so I'm a little surprised.
You be the judge.
There's the contact right there as the ball goes sailing by.
Matt Austin, our rules expert, you tell us.
Well, I agree with Greg. You can't play through the back of the receiver like that. I know he was jumping up for the ball, but he was definitely early and through the back, so I think they should have stuck with that one.
Here's second down. Daniels nearly ripped down, but gets it to Emery. And Emery trying to fight his way back past the line of scrimmage, and he does so over midfield. They'll have to use a timeout with 20 seconds remaining. Hey, next Sunday, December 4th, it is the reveal of the college football playoff matchups in the Fiesta and Peach Bowls. Of course, that'll be New Year's Eve on ESPN. Reese and the guys will unveil the New Year's 6 bowl games and have the top 25 final rankings. But a lot of business to be done before then,
right.
Brett.
Yeah, there's one thing we've learned, like, let's not lock in any top 4 spots right now, because it feels a little bit like 2007, where it was almost like, who doesn't want to win the championship?
Exactly.
And just move them up accordingly. But right now, LSU very much in the hunt for a college football playoff berth. Of course, that requires a win this week. And then obviously one of the biggest shocks of the season next week if they knock off the Georgia Bulldogs. But a lot on the line here for the Tigers. And they've been okay offensively, but defensively, man, they have really struggled at times here in the first half.
You sensed something with Texas A&M, though, this week. You were saying it the past few days.
I just think they're dangerous. I just think they're one of those teams that's young, so you're going to have really high highs, but you're also going to have really low lows. I mean, that's what you get with great freshman players, and teams that are full of freshmen are going to have highs and lows like that. So if you catch them on the wrong day, you're in for a dogfight.
Here's your 3rd and 7, 20 seconds remain, 1 timeout for LSU. Daniels to the outside of the intended target of Malik Neighbors. That leaves 16 seconds and a 4th down. And they're going to send down the punt team.
Got to wonder here. I mean, normally you'd go punt safe in this part of the field. Do you potentially try to come after it? See if you can't get a hand on it. I mean, LSU has had their fair share of special teams mishaps this year. Maybe you try to come after this one.
Nobody back to return as this thing is going to bounce right into the end zone. And we will tell you that tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown, as the Bengals eye a 3rd straight win. Speaking of LSU, Joe Burrow is going to go one-on-one with Alex Smith. And all access inside a team meeting with Tom Brady and the Bucs. That's 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Then Monday Night Football, Steelers, Colts, 8 Eastern on ESPN. And, of course, the app and Monday Night Countdown will get you started at 6 p.m.
LSU fans probably a little uneasy right now with the current score in this football game. Aggie fans probably over the moon, but one thing to keep Aggies on edge and LSU fans feeling positive is that LSU has been an excellent second-half football team this year. Their coaches have done a great job making adjustments. I'll tell you what, the plan that I saw from Jimbo Fisher in the first half, though, was sensational, and he's got to be thrilled with the performance of not just his offense, but at times his defense, and, of course, his running back, Devon Achane, who is really taken this game over at points. He has over 115 yards in the first half alone.
Remember, A&M will receive the second half kickoff as well. They have a touchdown lead over number 5 LSU. Yep, SEC West has been locked up, but playoff hopes still exist for LSU. Katie.
Thanks, Tess. Jimbo, Devon Achane has been phenomenal in his return. What's impressed you about the spark he's provided?
Well, I think just his natural running skills. He's so patient, he knows when to explode, and we're controlling the line of scrimmage. Our offensive linemen are blocking him and giving him seams, and you can see what he's doing, and Connor's really managing the game, making the right throws and good decision. We're executing.
Speaking of managing the game, we saw some really long, great possession there in the 3 drives. What needs to continue offensively?
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I couldn't hear
what
you.
needs to continue offensively?
The same thing. We got to stay ahead of the chains, because that's when they get into it. When they can pass rush, they have great loose down pass rush guys, and we got to stay ahead of the chain, stay physical, make sure our third downs are very manageable, and be able to take our shots and control the game.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
You do that, you get Perkins and Ojulari out of the game. It's 17-10. Let's head to the studio for the halftime report with Matt, Joey, and Jesse. Gentlemen, take it away.
Joe Tess, you were too kind. Mercedes-Benz halftime report. We have reached prime time on Thanksgiving weekend. And a big one.
This halftime report is presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Our road to the championship brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Georgia outlast Georgia.
Kyle Field, as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Subway. 17-10, A&M up a touchdown on number 5 LSU. Joe Tessitore and Greg McElroy with you. Listen, Connor Wigman, the freshman quarterback, was poised and control. A-Chain, the star running back, was outstanding. And they kept long drives going. A&M was 7 of 8 on third down in that first half.
Yeah, that was the key. I mean, just continuing to extend drives. And if you look at how they did it, yeah, occasionally the short pass, but 2 very timely Connor Wigman runs to extend drives as well. He was very in control. And, of course, A&M fans thrilled with what they've seen from Devon A-Chain, almost 120 yards there in the first half of this football game. And clearly, I mean, injury not an issue anymore. Nearly 20 carries in the first half as well.
Going for 6.6 a carry at the touchdown that got the night started. Wigman being chased by Ojolari. Katie.
Well, Tess, you could imagine Brian Kelly is not thrilled with the way that his defense has played. He said that was a very uncharacteristic first half. We were missing tackles left and right. He said that was not to our standard. Now this comes down to digging in and seeing how we can respond. All of it's on the line.
And listen, at the end of the day, you got 18 to 22-year-olds who know what is coming next week. But when the college football playoff is on the line, every single moment matters.
Absolutely. And look, this has been a team that has responded to adversity time and time and time again. And I'm sure Brian Kelly issued a very strong challenge at halftime to his defense especially.
2nd and 9. Quick strike was batted away by Jay Ward. He was trying to get it to the speedy freshman, Evan Stewart.
Ball just a little off target from Wigman. As you see, tries to anticipate the throw. It's good anticipation, but the ball's just a little bit behind Evan Stewart, who's on the in-breaking route. It's not going to be possible for him to track it and turn his hips that quickly to make a play on the ball. And these are the situations they avoided in the first half. 3rd and long, staying on schedule was of the utmost importance, and here they are behind the sticks.
It's exactly what Jimbo stressed to Katie moments ago. Can they convert? 3rd and 9. No. Pressure came raining in on Wigman from Wingo. It was Mekhi Wingo who got to Connor Wigman.
We also told you that quarterback run game hurt him on 3rd down as well. This time they opt to go with just a 3-man rush. And Harold Perkins, number 40, he was in the spy position. His eyes were in the back. He's now responsible for Wigman. So quarterback run game, if they opt to go with that approach defensively the rest of the game, quarterback run game is going to be a non-factor because Harold Perkins, he can stop anybody at a quarterback spy spot.
Welcome to the game, Nick Constantinu. First punt for A&M tonight. And it's a scatter call on the sideline as it goes harmlessly out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. College football playoff rankings are brought to you by Capital One.
Let's take a look. Obviously, Ohio State, how far do they fall? I think their playoff hopes are alive, but they are certainly on life support right now. Clemson is out, totally out. Oregon, out, obviously. So it just depends. I mean, with what's going on right now in Los Angeles, USC is in prime position to be in a great spot to potentially secure that number 4 spot if LSU can't knock off Georgia next week.
Jaden Daniels. They go with the option and the pass on the back end of it, with Neighbors securing it as he's out to the 33-yard line.
LSU's offense really, I mean, they punted twice. They did not have a bad first half whatsoever. I mean, they completed 50% of their 3rd down conversions. They didn't run the ball as effectively as they would have liked, but still, John Emery averaged over 5 yards a carry and Jaden Daniels over 6. So it really wasn't the offense's fault there in the first half. It didn't have much to show for it.
2nd and 6. Daniels with plenty of time. You know how dangerous he is with his feet, as he easily gets the first down. He's out to the 49-yard line for the Tigers. 16 yards from Daniels. Daniels chased out of the pocket and glides past midfield. Aerial coverage tonight is provided by Goodyear. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. A lot of LSU fans hit the road and come down here for this Thanksgiving weekend rivalry. They'll hit the road to Atlanta next week for the SEC championship. You know, we were talking how unexpected. Yes, you see the totality of the season. You understand what LSU is. But remember what was said all off season about mighty Bama and A&M with this loaded recruiting class and the uptick of Arkansas and Ole Miss and how good the offense of Mississippi State would be. And yet these Tigers play for the SEC championship next week with a great, powerful run from Noah Cain there, going for 12 hard-earned yards.
Man, how about that run by Noah Cain? I mean, just continuing to churn, and his right tackle, Emory Jones, too, helping out as well as you see him driving his back forward for some extra yardage. Excellent push there by LSU's rushing attack.
Good job by Daniels to realize what was happening as the interior of that defensive line was crashing on Emory, and he holds on to the ball. Chris Russell makes the tackle.
And this is what Jaden Daniels can do for you. This is the perfect play call. I mean, you have field fire zone and you have zone read. One guy's accounting for the running back, the other guy's accounting for the quarterback. Doesn't matter. Jaden Daniels can make you right as an offensive coordinator. Perfect play call by DJ Durkin, and it doesn't matter. What would normally be a negative play is now actually a solid play. Set up 2nd and 6.
Daniels, shallow cross as he gets it into the hands of Thomas. And it'll be 3rd down and 1.
A&M right now, that secondary, the deepest defender's about 5 yards, so they're about to sell out against the run here.
3rd and 1. Emory able to find that crease and gets inside the 20-yard line. 1st down LSU. That is Chris Russell, who is grabbing his leg. Medical team out to see the starting linebacker. We'll take a short break. Hey, Duke Purdue tomorrow afternoon, ABC, the Phil Knight Legacy Championship. And then tomorrow night in the Phil Knight Invitational Championship, Iowa State against top 20 UConn. That's from Portland. Of course, that was a little bit of a discussion in our booth. And your Alabama team was defeated by our executive vice president booth operations, Jeff Calhoun's UConn Huskies last night.
A little too soon. It's all right. It was closer than the final score indicated. Only lost by 20.
Huh. 1st down LSU. Daniels looked to Emory for a pump and now checks down to him as they were running out of options, and he was met by Damani Richardson. Damani Richardson with 42 career starts, most on the team. He's top 10 in the SEC in tackles. Very reliable defensive back for the Aggies.
It's this part of the field where A&M did a decent job in the first half. That field starts to condense. What will they do now in the second half?
2nd and 10. Emory! Straight ahead and right in! John Emory with the 19-yard touchdown run for the Tigers.
Watch these 3 defenders and notice that their eyes are all on Jaden Daniels. Watch, they stay wide as a result of his presence and how he can pull it in the zone read game. So you have 3 defenders who stay wide, and as a result, Emery hits it right up the field. What a great start here in the second half for the LSU Tigers.
Good job by Garrett Dellinger on a block there to pave the way for John Emery. We got ourselves a tie game with so much on the line as LSU heads to the SEC championship game. John Emery takes it straight ahead for the score. 17s apiece, Tigers and Aggies.
Open eye, reemerge from the side like a god. I'm talking real guap. 23, 40.
ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Subway. As John Emery gets a well-earned rest after just scoring the 19-yard touchdown run. Tie game here at Kyle Field. Third tie of this game. LSU has never had the lead. Fighting Spirit moment brought to you by Modelo. And Devon Achane has had some fight to him tonight, Greg.
He certainly has. I mean, what a breath of fresh air to this Aggie offense. He gets to the perimeter there, making guys miss. Watch how he finishes the run here against Harold Perkins, refusing to go down. He also cuts inside of Fouché for the end zone, and also the block on Ojulari, which is no easy task. You're giving up almost 70 pounds to the end man on the line of scrimmage, Ojulari, and you stick your nose in there and you make it happen. As you can see, the first half production, tremendous for Achane, but no touches on the first series of the half for the Aggies.
So get to work here to start this second half. Ojulari makes the tackle. You saw that first half number where he outpaced LSU, but LSU on that last drive, yes, they had 64 yards rushing in the first half. They had 62 on that last drive.
Yeah, you could tell the commitment now is going to be the zone read game, and you can also tell that A&M is very, very thoughtful when it comes to how they want to defend Jaden Daniels' legs. He was a huge factor, even though he didn't always carry the football in the last drive. A&M was certainly accounting for him, and it opened up some big holes for his backs.
Achane on 2nd and 6. He was initially met by Ali Gay and then wrapped up by Sage Ryan.
Dare I say huge down here for Texas A&M. I don't usually go there with 8 minutes left in the third quarter, but to go 3 and out on your first 2 possessions of the second half when you played great offensively in the first half would be a real gut punch to the adjustments that you made.
This a more manageable 3rd and 4. They were behind the chains on that last possession. Wigman, incomplete. He was trying to connect with Evan Stewart, but it was Major Burns there defensively for Matt House's side of the ball.
And this is nicely done. You see defensively Burns all over it. And they kind of had almost a double coverage. Burns comes out, he has outside leverage. If they would have they went with a little bit of a whip route where you fake the inside and come to the back outside, well, if they would have just had the shallow cross, it would have been there. But instead, Burns was right there, and it was tremendously well covered.
So the lefty, Nick Constantino, on to punt. Greg Clayton will look to field this. He's inside the 30-yard line. And there is that reverse spin off the left foot that is often tough for return men. Fair caught. Just over 8 minutes to play in the third quarter.
You know, guys, earlier in the season, Jaden Daniels told me that he felt like he had to do it all. Right or wrong, he felt pressure to make plays for his teammates. But he said the turning point came after the Tennessee loss when they had that player-only meeting. He realized my teammates are here to help me. It's just my job to trust them and allow them to make the plays. He said that newfound outlook allowed him to start playing fast and free, and the offense took off, and they really haven't ever looked back since then. Outside of the Arkansas night, I mean, he's hit 7 guys tonight, 7 different receivers. That's trust.
Of course, he was dealing with the flu in that low-scoring Arkansas game. Noah Kane, a good effort ahead to the 31-yard line. Katie mentioned since the Tennessee game, the 5-game win streak, 16 total touchdowns, only 1 interception.
Yeah, I mean, it really, and look, sometimes God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Well, that performance against Tennessee turned it into we got to throw it all over the yard type of game because they were so far down, right? Well, guess what? That jump-started the passing game, And since that game, they've been a completely different offense.
Short pitch on 2nd and 4 to Kane as he tries to turn the corner. It'll be 3rd and a long one. He was run down by McKinley Jackson.
As that passing game has really started to take off, with the exception of the Arkansas game, they have been very dialed in and really making the most of what is an outstanding wide receiver corps.
Corps of Cadets getting loud here on a 3rd down.
I think zone read if you're LSU right here.
Ball's out. Ball is loose. It is scooped. Richardson's going to return it. Touchdown Aggies. Damani Richardson. Edgerrin Cooper forced it out. Damani Richardson brought it back. And remember, Richardson had one of the wild plays of the year, that 97-yard fumble return touchdown against Arkansas, when he was given the ball by Chappelle and he took it 80-plus yards for the game-changing touchdown. That sparked the Aggies' win then. That was all the way back on September 24th, then 6 straight SEC losses. And now here they are with another Damani Richardson scoop and score. And they are up a touchdown in the 3rd quarter against number 5.
All right, zone read absolutely killed them on the last drive. So DJ Durkin probably lit into his defense there leading into this upcoming drive. Well, obvious 3rd and short, zone read look from LSU. They do a great job as Overton crashes down to give Daniels the pull read. And then there it is. Cooper swoops right around, makes the tackle, dislodges the football, and the Aggies have life in the 2nd half.
How great of a view is that from the blimp high above Kyle Field? And all of a sudden, there is life here in Aggie land.
And how cool on a team full of freshmen and sophomores that a senior gets the scoop and score touchdown here in his final game in College Station.
Remember, DJ Durkin turned to us just yesterday, Greg. He said it would be easy for a guy like Damani Richardson, a veteran like him, to get frustrated in a season like this. Instead, he goes out and practices hard every day, every rep, that his mentality is just infectious. And he went so far as to say, listen, you don't see a lot of that nowadays in this sport, but you see it every day with Richardson. And he got the payoff there. And he did it earlier this year, too. Last time they won an SEC game. 1st and goal. KJ's going to run it again. Diving, fumbles the ball! Fumbles the ball, and Chappelle's got it! Tyreek Chappelle in the right spot as he hands it off to Richardson. Here he goes! Wow! Can you believe this? Touchdown in the most unexpected way possible.
Well, if Joe Tess is on the call for an Aggie game, I guess it's going to result in a Damani Richardson touchdown, as he is the recipient of the scoop and score there as Cooper dislodged the ball. Just an incredible sequence there in the Arkansas game that completely flipped that game on its head. All the momentum on the side of the Razorbacks prior to that play, and when Richardson took it to the house, Aggies were the better team the rest of the way.
As Sam Matthews, a special teamer who is down and being tended to by the trainers, will take a short break. Aggies by 7.
It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful time of the year.
That is a great slate for coverage of the SEC Championship next Saturday on the SEC Network. 4 hours of pregame coverage and then outstanding postgame coverage with Laura Rutledge and Tim Tebow, Roman Harper and the gang from Atlanta. It's next week on the SEC Network all day long. Here's Daniels as he was late in getting it to Emery, but did make the most of it for the completion. So this on the heels of the scoop and score from Texas A&M, and there's an energy in this stadium that has.
I'll tell you this too. It's been pretty impressive so far to see the energy that you referenced, Tess. I mean, there have been times where it's been a little lethargic watching the Aggies play this year, but not tonight, that's for sure.
Kane goes ahead on 2nd and 2. That'll move the chains for a first down for the Tigers.
I like the sequence there from Mike Denbrock. Those are called GBOT plays. Get back on track. After your quarterback makes a mistake, you get him an easy completion into the flat, you get him moving, and then you come back with a run play to pick up the first down.
Kane again as he tries to cut back and does so, gets beyond the 40-yard line.
See John Emery, who's had a nice start here in the second half, but a little banged up after that hit that he received on the sideline by Tariq Chappelle.
Daniels on 2nd and 5 and gets it complete to Neighbors, and it's another LSU first down. Final night of the regular season in the SEC. Shoe is off for Neighbors, so he's going to have to trot off for a moment.
Man, they
Still
have
so much to be decided when you look at the national picture. I'm sure USC fans, Ohio State fans, they're sitting there saying, yeah, we're A&M fans tonight.
It is a small world in college football here these final couple weeks.
And on first down, just past midfield, tackled by Cooper. Cooper forced the fumble moments ago that was scooped up by Damani Richardson. Return for a touchdown. Shallow cross to Lacey, and he is met right at that line to gain. As it was Chris Russell. And Lacey is down at the end of that play. He took a big hit.
That was a really big collision on the shallow cross. And Russell, who was hurt himself a little earlier in the game, walked off gingerly under his own power. He returns. He cleans up that shallow. Hopefully Lacey's okay.
Here's what happened at the end of it. It's a clean hit. It's just a solid hard hit.
You just see that right leg as the right leg kind of comes in underneath Kyron Lacey as he kind of gets bent backwards. See that right leg kind of go down underneath, and you never want to speculate, but it's kind of awkward there in his lower body as he goes down to the ground.
Lacey, who started his career at Louisiana Lafayette before transferring to LSU.
Kind of looking at his shoulder as well, feeling up underneath the shoulder pad. Certainly hope that young man's okay. Just another in a long line of very talented wide receivers on this LSU roster.
That was his first catch of the game. Went for 8 yards there. Of course, they came into the season with Kayshon Boutte being a preseason All-America. Got off to a slow start. It was Malik Neighbors who really started to rise up, but a very talented group that Lacey's a part of. Amazing to think about the season that LSU has had and how they've gone about it. And when you talk to them, and it's a nice applause for Lacey from this crowd here at A&M. And we spent time with Brian Kelly this week. He goes, listen, the wins have been great. We're thrilled with the wins, but it's really the mental toughness of this group that he has great pride in.
Yeah, and that was something that was a little bit up in the air early in the season, right? I mean, when you're a new staff and you have a bunch of new faces and they're trying to learn how to trust you and you're trying to learn how to trust them, I mean, it's a series of give and take, and I think Brian Kelly's done a masterful job of reaching every individual player and really bringing out the most in them as the season's gone along.
Kane straight ahead as he gets to the 37-yard line. Daniels on 2nd and 6. He's trying to sidearm it to Kane. There's very little chance with the coverage Chris Russell had on him. So it'll be 3rd down for Brian Kelly's offense.
Good coverage there from Texas A&M. Really one of the few times we've seen LSU try to block them up and throw it downfield, and A&M doesn't take the bait.
Listen to this crowd. What a difference a week makes.
They've gone with that locked hitch several times tonight, so keep an eye on the top of the screen. Against that press coverage, they've had one-on-one several times and have taken advantage of it.
3rd down and 6. Edge pressure. They pick it up. Daniels. He's going to try to run it himself, and he gets it. Those fleet feet of Jaden Daniels. A flag is down back at the 38-yard line, so we will check on that.
Holding, offense, number 50, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the right tackle, Emory Jones, who was sliding a bit inside for protection for Daniels.
Watch Emory Jones on the right side. He engages initially, and did you see the defender as he's starting to work up? Emory Jones is grabbing that jersey with his right hand as Jaden Daniels is pushing himself towards the line of scrimmage. That's a good call by the official. And a difficult spot for the tackle to be in.
Brings it all the way back to the 47-yard line. And a 3rd and 16 after the penalty.
I think A&M's going to drop out after showing pressure. There it is.
There's the dropout. 4-man rush, and still enough pressure to disrupt things, and then thrown low and behind Jack Besh. So a good job by DJ Durkin's defense.
Just a really good look there from DJ Durkin. You got to think circumstances, 3rd and 16, probably not thinking heavy pressure, right? So instead they go with what you call a simulated pressure. It has the feel and the look to the quarterback as if guys are blitzing, but there's only 4 guys that are on the pass rush. So a good look there by the Aggie defensive front.
Bramlett looking for the pin here, but instead it is fielded near the 15-yard line. Now a quick word from Verbo.
Some of you guys say VRBO, and let's just be honest, that's not it, okay? It's Verbo. Tebow. Verbo like Tebow. Tebow like Verbo.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Texas A&M has lost 6 straight SEC games. And then last week, it was really just a dismal day and a lackluster win against UMass. This place was thinning out. The weather was horrible. But good things happen around the holiday season, right? Fans like that.
Big man in attendance. I like it. No, it's offense, however, in the second half for A&M has really struggled.
A-Chain's been the star tonight. And he adds to his total as he's carrying Micah Baskerville and Fouché with him for 9 more yards. So he's gone for 134 yards tonight, Greg.
Nicely done here. Nice and patient around the edge. And I think that's what's so impressive about A-Chain is that, wow, better take advantage. Will Perkins on the sideline, by the way.
2nd and 1. Fighting for just 1 extra yard. And getting past Ojolari to move the chains is A-Chain.
Well, what's so phenomenal about A-Chain, though, what I was saying a second ago, is he's going off to the sideline. Clearly not 100% coming into tonight, but doing the best he can to be as available as humanly possible for his team. But he's got great speed. And I think natural tendency when you're a speedster is to go full speed all the time. His patience is what's most phenomenal about how he runs the football, and it's been on display time and time again tonight. Hopefully he'll be okay and he'll get back in the ball game.
No other A&M running back has had a carry tonight. Amari Daniels will change that. Good stiff arm and then a burst of speed. So Daniels picks up where A-Chain left off as he gave that stiff arm to B.J. Ojulari. 11 yards for Daniels.
And a good job feeling the collapse on the backside, and good job by Daniels cutting back. Put a nice stiff arm on Ojulari. Picking up a nice gain. Can't imagine A&M abandons the run right now. They're running it well for the first time this half.
Offensive line is playing great. Running backs playing spirited. As Daniels goes ahead out to the 41-yard line. And remember, they have been missing key pieces on this offensive line. Bryce Foster, who's a big NFL prospect in the middle, the center, he's been out for the year. 2 starters earlier this year at left guard, out injured, down to the true freshman Dewberry, who's got a bright future. And now this gets into the hands of Evan Stewart. So Connor Wigman, freshman to freshman, connecting with Stewart. First down, Texas A&M.
Man, Stewart was quick on this slant route. I mean, very, very quick. Wigman almost threw it behind him to the point. Watch how quickly he breaks that slant. Great adjustment, too, by Stewart, flipping his hips. See that natural flexibility without stopping, a ton of momentum, snagging the football, and having a nice completion.
Another one of the big 5 stars that made up the #1 class in the country. Look at Daniels go! Amari Daniels, chunk play Aggies. 23 yards. He comes in for A-Chain, and he has picked up and gotten after it. As he fights for 2 yards there. Things changed in this third quarter. Damani Richardson had the big swing play. We are headed to the fourth quarter. And here at Kyle Field, it has been competitive all night. And the #5 team in the country, a week away from playing for the SEC championship, is down a touchdown to A&M. We are here at the home of the 12th man, Kyle Field, and you're watching the SEC on ESPN. Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, Katie George with you. And what has been the most unexpected regular seasons for these two teams, A&M and LSU, and now an unexpected score to start the fourth quarter. Upset-minded Aggies up a touchdown on #5. And how about more? Moose Muhammad, one-hander, my oh my! We got something bubbling up here in Aggieland, folks.
And how about this catch? I mean, it's pretty well covered for the most part by Ryan. Over the top, you have Brooks. And Muhammad just reels it in with one arm. Unbelievable catch.
You know, Brian Kelly said to us the other day, he said, listen, A&M is young. I get it. We know the season they had, but they are so talented, and they can be really scary. You want to see talent? How about Moose Muhammad?
It's like I said, I mean, it's perfect coverage. I mean, it's just not much more you can do defensively. But Muhammad just shields off Sage Ryan with his right arm and reels it in with his left. I mean, that's just ridiculous concentration.
And how about the true freshman quarterback, Connor Wigman? In a season when everything has gone the other way, tonight he's making a little magic. And his father, of course, Muhsin Muhammad, the two-time Pro Bowler, the NFL veteran with the Panthers and Bears for all those years. 18 years ago, he led the NFL in receiving yardage. And there is Wigman, the big recruit, made his way here from Bridgeland High, where he was a great baseball prospect as well. And now the starting quarterback for this A&M team. You see how relaxed he's been all night, the composure in this spot. In a season that has seen 6 straight games in the SEC go the other way. Katie.
You know, Tess, Jimbo Fisher said you don't exactly know how a guy will be received until he's been in the heat of battle. Fisher says Wigman's unwavering confidence through some success and some failure thus far has really been contagious. He also said Wigman is constantly encouraging others. He can bring out the best of those around him. Fisher says that aspect of the job comes very naturally to Wigman, which is really exciting as you look to the future here.
Yeah, he's been fun to watch. I mean, I love the plan tonight, too. I mean, everything in the first half manageable, get the ball out of his hands. You get a young guy like him, confident in the plan. You see the ball going into receivers' hands. He's going to play better and better and better as the game goes along. He has made the nicest throw of the night down the left sideline for a touchdown.
John Emery wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and now you see everyone firing off. Isaiah Rakes with the tackle. The starter earlier this year. We've seen limited time lately, and he comes up with the tackle here.
Massive opportunity here for Jaden Daniels. This place is about to erupt. He can quiet them down with the first down here for the Tigers.
Daniels feeling the pressure again and taken down. They swarmed him. And it was Walter Nolan, the 5-star true freshman, finally getting to Jaden Daniels. The first sack of the night for the Aggies.
But watch how they use the quarterback spy. The left side, you see Overton doesn't drop. He buys the tackle, and then he converges immediately and forces Jaden Daniels to stay up inside where his teammates are. Excellent job by using the quarterback spy. And now LSU way behind the sticks.
3rd and 15. 3-man rush. They drop 8. Daniels still looking for anything on 3rd and 15. Flag is down as Daniels is chopped down. He took that hit to the leg. And just a little slow to get up as Tyreek Chappelle went low and cut him down. And this is against LSU. And Daniels is now on his back. So the LSU trainers quick to get out to Jaden Daniels. He has been the spark all season long. This is what happened at the end. And Chappelle took him down. And Daniels still down on the turf here at Kyle Field.
Matt Perry back in our college football studios with your AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship Studio update. Raleek Brown takes it in 24-7 USC, but here come the Irish moments ago. Drew Pine, good toss. Irish now 24-14. Deion Colsley comes down with it, closing the gap a little bit in LA.
These playoff hopefuls, the last few remaining playoff hopefuls, including one in front of us, trailing by 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. And Garrett Nussmeier has to come in on 3rd and 25 with the injury to Daniels as he goes to Kayshon Boutte, who is taken down easily as they go conservative. And there is Daniels. He was able to walk off, but he took that hit to the leg moments ago.
Was able to walk off. Nothing noticeable about how he walked off either. So might be able to return to this game, and certainly hope for that young man he'll be able to. He's had a heck of a season. Nussmeier's a capable backup, though, and they're very confident in Nussmeier if he has to shoulder a heavy lift the rest of the way.
That was the first 3 and out for LSU tonight. Bramblett onto punt as the umbrella drives this back to the 35-yard line. Moose Muhammad on the return had that sensational touchdown catch moments ago as a flag is down on the return back at the 38-yard line. Now, Matt gave us the USC update. USC fans, Ohio State fans, and say, hey, Texas A&M could do the job this week, not next week with Georgia. Only 6 teams, really, if you think about it, still alive in the playoff hunt. LSU's one of them for now. But a third loss, that would put them on the outside.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block, receiving team, number 40. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Just the second penalty on A&M tonight. They have the ball, up 2 touchdowns on the 5th-ranked team in the country.
I'm a long snapper. I'm also the 12th man here, and this will be my last college football game. Each year, you have a different team. You have different teammates, learning to work with different people. I feel like that also will help you and prepare you for later on in life. Oh, man, I'm going to miss the guys. That's, the game's great, the moments are great, but I'm going to miss the guys mainly. The sport has given me so much, so many great friends, so many great memories that I'll have forever.
Yeah, Connor Choate, that is our player spotlight brought to you by Royal Caribbean. And Greg, we spotlight Connor. Listen, obviously, the season with A&M, this is the final game. This is probably the last time they ever plays the sport.
Yeah, no, it's a special story. Obviously, wearing 12 at Texas A&M, it means an awful lot. And, even as a kid from Southlake, and knowing that he's from Capel, I gotta tip my cap to that young man. He's had a great career, and obviously being from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I understand what that Aggie network means, and clearly he does as well.
A-Chain back in the game, 2nd and 7. Wigman trying to escape the pressure. He's brought down after a gain of a yard as he's taken down by Roy. They're down in 6 for Wigman and the Aggies. Here comes the pressure from LSU. They pick it up. Wigman downfield once more, and he gets it. And it's Muhammad again. Moose Muhammad has come up huge. From the one-handed touchdown catch to this for 39 yards.
Wow. I mean, just an unbelievable catch from Moose Muhammad. It just feels like it's your day. I mean, so much has gone against the Aggies this year, so many difficult days. But man, everything seems to be aligning on the final Saturday of the regular season as Moose Muhammad on ball thrown way inside, somehow reaches his left arm in there and reels it in against great coverage.
He's been targeted 5 times. He's got 5 catches for 94 yards and that thrilling touchdown. As A-Chain, who left the game earlier in this second half, Daniels came in, played well. He's back to action, and he has been sensational tonight. 142 yards and a touchdown.
Just an unbelievable future for so many of these guys in College Station. I mean, Moose Muhammad's, of course, going to be a great player. Already is a great player. Evan Stewart, though, great to have him back in the mix here in the final game of his freshman year. But Devon A-Chain, of course, might be playing his final game here in College Station, but my goodness, has he been special tonight.
Second and 6. A-Chain, as he was met by Roy. 3rd and short. Jimbo looking into that play sheet. There's so much criticism of the offense this year. He says, listen, it's easy to sit back and say what we should do, but got a young team, got injuries. Not easy to be creative when you got young players who aren't quite ready for it. Now tonight, some of those younger players are showing perhaps they are ready for it. And he's got one of them with the true freshman quarterback, Connor Wigman. And the return of Devon Achane, who he can lean on. 3rd down and 3. Achane trying to get to the outside, and he does. And he spins free of Baskerville. Oh, what a night for Achane. First down, Aggies.
I mean, this is what Achane could do. I mean, this is well defended at the line of scrimmage by LSU. There are 3, maybe 4 LSU Tigers that are in the backfield about to make a stop behind the line of scrimmage on short yardage situation, and didn't matter. Achane somehow finds a way to stop on a dime, get to the edge, and turn what was supposed to be a negative play into a huge gain.
That is a career high now, 162 yards. A career high in which he was limited all week long. They didn't know until he got out there for warm-ups whether or not he could go. Left the game, has a slight limp, but just keeps fighting and fighting and showing you his character on a season like this, when he's been encouraging guys even when he's been out, when he didn't tap out, when he didn't just come in for a soft landing. He said, I want to get back in for one last game. 1st and goal. Trying to reverse field here, just fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. 8.5 minutes to play.
What a difference Achane makes, too. He on defense, if you have one great player, you call him an eraser, right? Even if everybody else messes up, if he makes a play, you're still in good shape. Well, he's kind of A&M's version of an eraser on offense. Even if everybody on the offensive line completely whiffs on their blocks, if the passing game's not going, doesn't matter. He can make you miss and create big plays, and that puts a lot of fear in opposing defensive coordinators. You can just see what a difference he makes here in his first game available in quite a while.
And remember, Aniyah Smith is out for the season. They lost him in the Arkansas game. The other guy who would be the other next reliable, game-changing kind of player on the Aggies. They've been doing it without Smith. It's been all Achane all night. A little bit of magic in the air here in College Station.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs.
Moose Muhammad has had 2 incredible catches in this 4th quarter. Devon Achane has been working hard, grinding with the running yards. And now the Aggies want more. And here he goes for it and gets it. Achane again. And now that hole that LSU is in is a crater. A week from now, Brian Kelly's going to look up at a scoreboard like that, and it's going to say #1 Georgia on it. And right now, it's 21 unanswered points by A&M.
It's a thing of beauty. You get the kick-out block by Robinson. You get the loop block there by Green, and then you get Crownover blocking the perimeter. Just beautifully executed. 3 hats on a hat. You get to the outside with Achane, and he finds the front corner of the end zone for another Aggie touchdown. Just excellent execution there in the run game for the Aggies.
I don't think a lot of people expected this kind of a scene here from A&M after the season they had. The 6 straight losses against SEC rivals. And instead of putting this thing in reverse, they come out and fight tonight with veteran leadership and then a mix of extremely talented freshmen that are coming into their own. And I point out Layden Robinson, the veteran right guard who cleared the way. He's the one guy that's been in his spot all season long.
You know, I was struck by the selflessness of older veteran guys I spoke to this week, guys. The focus this evening, of course, was on winning, but it was deeper than that. There was a desire to play well for the group that's moving forward. Give them something positive to build off of. And on a night when you think of seniors, you think of older guys, it was the seniors who were concerned about the younger guys and setting them up for success down the road. I know from the outside it looks like Texas A&M has some issues to work through, but internally this group is still playing for one another, and I just found that very striking, Tess.
No doubt about it, Katie. And it has manifested itself on the scoreboard. Jaden Daniels able to get away for a moment and then turn on the speed and slide down near midfield. And prior to that play, you had the scoop and score by A&M. Greg, you immediately said that's a game-changing kind of play when Richardson returns it for the touchdown. And prior to that play, you just saw LSU had run 21 plays for 12 yards. It was tied at 17, and Richardson returns it for the touchdown. Changed the game completely. Changed the energy. Noah Kane on the reception. Let's go to Matt Berry in the studio.
All right, Joe, keeping you updated on USC and Notre Dame. Only thing missing for Caleb Williams tonight is the Keith Jackson Hello Heisman. He has been brilliant, 31-14.
Heisman year, the kind of year where you figure the late happenings, things that happen this week and next week, will define it. Neighbors with the reception for 18 yards. Kind of a nondescript Heisman year up until we get to these finishing strides. Daniels quickly gets it to Mason Taylor. LSU desperately trying to come down the field. Under 7 minutes to play. The thought of having a 3-loss team in the SEC championship game. It's happened 9 times. Florida in 2016, most recent. Daniels somehow able to get free, keep his balance inside the 5-yard line for 1st and goal. He is slithery.
Tell you what, this has been a really nice drive orchestrated by LSU and Jaden Daniels. Game not over yet in their eyes.
Not at all. Emery straight ahead for a touchdown. They wasted no time coming right down the field to score the touchdown. John Emery, as he has 3 on the night.
We're going to go for 2.
Only took a minute 25.
They'll move it to the left middle.
That's what BK is saying.
Mike Kelly a little frustrated there. They roll Jaden Daniels to his right again. With this look, you certainly could.
Daniels, 2-point try. He's trying to get rid of it right at the end, and then he was taken down as Overton and that front got to him. You can see him in pain like he was moments ago, now clutching his helmet. They will check on Jaden Daniels, their star quarterback. He's reaching for his right leg, writhing in pain.
Matt Berry in our college football studio. The war on I-4 has gotten weird. UCF was up 28-0, and South Florida has come back to take the lead on ESPN2, 39-38.
Well, who didn't see that coming? 1-10 South Florida. I mean, come on.
LSU kicks away here with under 6.5 to play. So next Sunday, we find out. We will hear the college football playoff matchups in the Fiesta and Peach Bowls. It'll be New Year's Eve when we get those national semis. And we will unveil the New Year's Six Bowl games. It all begins noon Eastern on ESPN. And if this score holds up, we are whittling it down. The teams that realistically have a chance to hear their name called, Greg.
And so many people are probably clamoring, saying, well, there's going to be teams that can find a way in. If Clemson goes out next week and dominates, right, do they still have a chance? Does Alabama have a chance? No, I just don't see it. I think there's 5 teams that can realistically make the college football playoff if this result holds.
A-Chain is swarmed. Obviously, Georgia and Michigan. TCU, who's going to play for the Big 12 championship. USC, who's doing their thing, they're going to play for the Pac-12 championship. You're going to have now the one-loss Ohio State team. Right. And this LSU team, say what you want, but if they got to the big one with just the 2 losses, then knocked out the heavyweight champions of the world, Georgia, they probably would have been in.
Yeah, with 3 losses
you're
for
done.
sure. Yeah, 3 losses, absolutely not. But 2 losses without question. And it's not totally out of the realm of possibility tonight they can come back and make it interesting. It's just highly unlikely. I just think that right now, this has been such an odd year. I mean, it really has. It's been a very odd year as it relates to the college football playoff. Even the best team in Georgia, I think we all unequivocally believe that Georgia's the best team.
No doubt.
They looked very human at times against Missouri, and they're in that kind of midway point of the season where they just didn't play great football. So every team at times has looked great. Every team at times has looked subpar. The teams that have survived the test of time are the ones that are going to be represented.
We know what Georgia's great looks like.
Yes.
And it is very, very much great. We also know that Michigan can play a style of football that wins on the big stage with defense, with running the ball, and physicality. A-Chain continues to get the workload here under 5 minutes to go.
Now, obviously, punted away here. LSU is going to have to go hyperspeed again. But a good job by LSU's defense stepping up and forcing the 3 and out from Texas A&M to give them a chance.
Constantino on to punt. A&M's offense has been consistent tonight. Had only 7 different players touch the ball. This is not a good punt. See if it takes a good bounce, as it does for A&M.
That might have gotten tipped.
Looked like it did, just based on the flight pattern.
Yeah, I mean, there was a rusher in there for LSU. It was back very quickly. Last time we saw it, let's take a look. No, not quite. Just didn't hit it great. Must have felt the pressure and the presence there from the LSU special teams unit. But last time we saw Jaden Daniels, he was writhing in pain on the ground, and now he's back, thank goodness, with that right ankle taped up. See if it affects his mobility here in the pivotal drive.
4 minutes to go. Can Daniels spark something late? Goes underneath to Noah Kane. That's a first down as he continues carrying the defender right to midfield. Trailing by 15. Clock running under 4 minutes. Three-man rush against Daniels. Incomplete. Flag is down as he was trying to connect with Mason Taylor.
Might get a hold here on Texas A&M. Chappelle had what appeared to be a strong grasp of Mason Taylor.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 7. 10-yard penalty, first down.
You'll see right there, just a hold on Jenkins. Thought it was Mason Taylor, excuse me, but it was Jenkins on the outside, the perimeter to the left.
Daniels gonna tuck and run as he was taken down by Bryce Anderson. He's doing that after getting banged up just minutes ago. He had to tape up that right ankle. 2nd and 2. Daniels going to launch it downfield, and it's out of bounds and well beyond Taylor, and a flag is down at the 15-yard line.
Might get another hold on A&M. It's like the jersey was getting tugged of Malik
Prior
Neighbors.
to the pass, holding, defense, number 17. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And Malik Neighbors trying to release inside, working against Jalen Jones. As you see that left arm just grabbing the jersey or the undershirt there. Pretty obvious call there for the official. It's twice now. Aggies have tugged on the jersey a little too long.
First down, LSU at the 22. He's trying to get Emery out of the backfield. The SEC West Division champs. A week from now, they've got to go up against number 1 Georgia. They were still alive for the playoff coming into the night. Can they rally late and maintain that status, or will we have a 3-loss team playing for the SEC championship? And there was some movement up front with Mason Taylor, the tight end.
False start, offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Taylor just trying to time up that snap, get a little momentum going. Fortunately, a little too eager to get the play started.
Daniels could not connect with Neighbors there. The 3rd and 15. $93,578. They want to finish a disappointing season with a celebration. Will the Aggies get it? 3rd and 15. Daniels drives the ball inside the 10, but it's incomplete. Looking for Brian Thomas. No penalty flag. 4th down is coming. To stay alive. 4th down, Daniels to the end zone. Corner of the end end zone, incomplete. Jeray Jenkins gave it his best shot. And the Aggies will take the ball.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Man, it was so close. It was a great look for LSU. Did look like Jenkins kind of secured the catch. Does he get a foot down? But as you see, as he goes to the ground, the ball comes free, and you have to be able to maintain control all the way through the catch. So really close call in the back of the end zone.
Let's bring in longtime SEC referee and our rules expert, Matt Austin. Where do your eyes go here, Matt?
Well, I tend to agree with Greg on this one.
Incomplete pass is under video review.
The receiver, the first decision that the replay official has to make is this an upright receiver, or is he going to the ground in the act of making the catch? He catches the ball with both feet on the ground, but he's hit immediately. If he's considered an upright receiver, then he doesn't have to survive the ground. It would be a touchdown. If you consider him going to the ground as part of the catch, it's an incomplete pass because he didn't survive the ground. So this is totally in the hands of the replay official.
The fact that he takes 2 more strides, does that in any way define him as upright or going to the ground? These next 2 steps right here and there, Matt.
Well, at the time of the second step, the ball's already coming out, in my opinion. So I don't think that would come into play. But if I'm in the replay official seat here, I'm going to call this an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and of course, it always has to be indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt to overturn. If the play was called a touchdown on the field, it might stand. But since it was called an incompletion on the field, it might stand as a result of that as well. Really doesn't appear to me as if he completely maintained possession all the way through. Now, the upright receiver versus falling down receiver, that I can see the gray area, but to me, I just don't think there's enough evidence to overturn, so I would say that the call stands.
After video review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass stands.
And with that, A&M gets it with 2:37 to play. Tyreek Chappelle, the defensive back, who came in hard against Jeray Jenkins.
Well, it's not totally over yet. Still 3 timeouts for LSU. A great job of preserving those timeouts for when their defense is on the field in the gotta-have-it situation. So not totally done just yet, but obviously in dire straits, and in order to give yourself a chance, you obviously have to have a 3 and out.
A-Chain. He will get fed the rock plenty here down the stretch with a 15-point lead. And a timeout is used by LSU. Look at that scene high above Kyle Field as aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Great scene here at Kyle Field. Great day here for us here at College Station because we got to watch ball all day.
Right.
And we just sat back, watched ball, hanging out at the hotel, and then you come and you get this unexpected outcome.
Yeah. Well, I think the final week, though, it's almost as if you kind of start fresh in that final week, especially for the teams that you know aren't going to be playing in a bowl game. This is their opportunity to finish the season on a high note. So it really shouldn't be that surprising that so many teams have played well in desperate situations. A&M in one of those situations. Missouri yesterday victorious against Arkansas to punch their ticket to the postseason. There's been several teams that have really saved their best for last, even though the year up to this point has been very disappointing.
And then, of course, the other thing with A&M is just look at the roster. And you be the judge as Perkins comes darting in for the tackle for loss. Because there are a lot of teams with a number next to their name that would trade rosters with A&M immediately. They are as loaded with talent, especially young talent, as any program is.
No, without question. And in a normal circumstance, right, A&M would be one of those teams like, all right, hey, they're poised for a huge leap in 2023. I still think they're poised for a huge leap because they don't feel like a team that's 4-8 or 5-7. The roster is just so much better than that. But now in the modern day, talent retention is as difficult as talent accumulation, right? So getting guys here in the recruiting class is one thing. Keeping guys is now an additional layer of difficulty. So I think that A&M, if they can keep everybody here that played significant snaps down the stretch, they'll be back ranked in the top 10, top 15 next year, and will likely be a legitimate contender in 2024 and beyond.
3rd and 8. One timeout remains for LSU. A-Chain on 3rd and 8 gets it and adds more. Just a spectacular night for A-Chain. He has 201 yards. We didn't know if he was going to play. Meanwhile, he is one of the best games running the ball in the SEC this year.
Just a phenomenal performance, taking him over 200 now on the night, and he deserves it. I mean, to come back, so many people would say, why? Why would you come back? Why would you put yourself at risk? He just didn't like the taste that this season provided this team and felt like if he could contribute towards finishing on a really positive note, that would give them great momentum heading into next year. So hats off to him. Just a tremendous performance.
Let's go to the studio, check in with Matt.
You guys talk about it, finishing on a high note. The Apple Cup, Michael Penix Jr. Now, Washington cannot play in the Pac-12 championship, but the outcome of this game affects who does play USC between Oregon and Utah. That coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Talked me into it.
Yeah.
Talked me into it. Tell me the Pac-12 championship game berth is potentially on the line? Yeah, I'm in.
As we count down the final minute here. And Brian Kelly's going to be headed to the SEC championship game with a 3-loss team in what has been just a sensational coaching job by BK and his staff. But tonight is about Jimbo and this staff and these kids who made a decision to push. We visited with Jimbo Fisher the other day, and as dismal of a year as it's been, with all the criticism, with all the injuries, with all the issues, he said that hasn't been this week. We have kids who want to win. We have kids who want to perform. There is urgency to send this season off in the right way. And what a way to do it, by defeating the number 5 team in the country. And for Connor Choate, the 12th man, his final football game. The famed 12th man. The 4th most games played with that number 12 jersey. And these fans have had such a long, long year, and they're ready to celebrate. Still 17 seconds left. And crowd control obviously a concern. You can point to A-Chain and say, acted like a veteran star tonight, carried the team, but there were critical moments, Greg. There was the Richardson scoop and score. There were the sensational one-hand catches by Moose Muhammad, and there was spirited play throughout.
Really terrific performance from Texas A&M, but will they be able to cap it off here with a 4th and 1 conversion, or will their defense finish the game on the field? Trying to figure out exactly what just went down. It felt like it was over and it was pandemonium, and then all of a sudden everyone rushing the field stopped in their tracks. Half the LSU team had to come out of the locker room.
That'll cap it. unexpected seasons for both teams. A&M started the year number 6 in the country. It went south. LSU came here number 5 in the country. A&M had other plans. A-Chain rushed for 215 yards. Let's go down to the field to Katie George.
Thanks, Tess. Jimbo, I know that you and your team have weathered many ups and downs this season, but what does that kind of performance tell you about your group?
Listen, we haven't got the results we wanted. But I always say adversity reveals your character. And our kids, no matter what the circumstance, we practice hard every day. We came to play every day. And there's a lot of character here. I'm happy for those seniors to send them out right. And for the future, what we can do, hopefully we can now understand and get the results we want. But there's a lot of character in these kids.
I don't think many people would have blinked if Devon A-Chain did not participate tonight. What does it say about him that he wanted to lead this group in the way that he did?
Let me ask you, that's Devon. Devon is the ultimate competitor, the ultimate team guy, and all of our kids on our team are, but Devon is special. And like I said, everybody from the outside kept saying, what do you got to play for? What about the kids inside? We're together the whole time.
Congratulations on finishing on a high note.
Thank you.
Yep, the ultimate team guy acted like it. And now we got a big celebration here at Kyle Field. Number 5 LSU is upset 38-23. Washington State is next. For Katie and Greg, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night from College Station.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference.